bong. I got the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, bomb. I put the ear, put the hour, mora baba, for you, mabital, wise, so sa ear, so sa hour, mang hour, goldi, golda, so iso,
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. Vladimir Putin has made the next move.
Ракеты атакуют цели со скоростью 10 Мах.
After Ukraine used American and British missiles capable of striking deeper into Russia, the Kremlin responded, firing an intermediate-range ballistic missile at Ukraine. Sabrina Singh is Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary.
This was a new type of lethal capability that was employed on the battlefield. So that's certainly of concern to us. And we're going to, I don't have an assessment of its impacts right now, but it's something that of course, we're concerned by.
2 people were injured in the strike. Matthew Saville with Royal United Services Institute says Russia is sending a message.
Signaling to the Ukrainians, we've got stuff that outranges you. But really signaling to the West, we're happy to enter into a competition around intermediate range ballistic missiles. P.S. These could be nuclear tipped. Do you really want to take that risk?
Putin says the new missile could be used to attack any Ukrainian ally whose missiles are used to attack Russia. Matt Gaetz is withdrawing his nomination to be President-elect Donald Trump's Attorney General nominee. The AP's Stephen Groves is on Capitol Hill.
This comes after a week of scrutiny on Capitol Hill into past allegations that Gaetz had engaged in sexual misconduct with an underage girl, as well as engaged in illicit drug use. The House Ethics Committee had been investigating these allegations for the past several years, but this week they were deadlocked between Democrats and Republicans on whether or not to release the investigation.
Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman says Matt Gaetz is not the last of the Trump nominees to face scrutiny.
Yes, he was the ultimate troll, and people have the opportunity. They can freak out over things and respond. And if you want to do that, you don't have to. You better pace yourself, though, because it's not even Thanksgiving.
This is AP News. The Illinois Supreme Court overturned actor Jussie Smollett's conviction in a 2019 attack. The AP's Margie Zaraletta has the story.
The case starts with a racist and homophobic attack against Jussie Smollett in Chicago in 2019. Prosecutors said he staged it against himself and lied to police. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office dropped an initial 16 counts of disorderly conduct. Smollett's attorneys have argued he performed community service and forfeited a $10,000 bond, and the case was over then. A special prosecutor took over, and a grand jury restored charges. Smollett was convicted on 5 counts in 2021. A state appellate court upheld the conviction. The Illinois Supreme Court heard arguments in September and has overturned Smollett's conviction. He has maintained his innocence. I'm Margie Zaraletta.
A Mexican drug cartel leader was arrested in the U.S., accused of faking his death and assuming a phony name. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we got to discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views, it's always so much fun. Oh. Good morning, Marianas.
Look at that outside. It's gorgeous. You couldn't ask for a better day, and it's Friday. It is Friday, November 22nd, 7:14 a.m. And look at that. I know there's a little bit of traffic. Look at that guy right there. Doesn't even know how to get into the middle of that turning lane. That's all right. We'll teach you. We'll give you an instructional session of how you can be a better driver out here in the Marianas one day. One day, it could be you who gets the tip of the week when it comes to driving. But it is a beautiful day outside today. It is Friday. We finally made it to the end of the week. That's right, the weekend. We're just a few hours away from that weekend being here, and it's 82 degrees out here in sunny, beautiful Saipan. 82 degrees outside, 82% humidity up at the Saipan International Airport. Looking at some isolated showers throughout the day, mostly sunny skies, high near 87. And winds out of the east-northeast, 11 to 15 miles per hour, but it's going to get a little windy with gusts as high as 18 miles per hour. Could be worse. Not that bad, but it's doing all right. We are not complaining out here because it is a gorgeous day out here. We're also going to take a look at some of the traffic that you're in right now or you're about to face. So let's get that screen up there and ready for you because, man, oh man, some of the trouble spots are already being the trouble spots. Let's take a look over there right now, down in Chalon, Monsignor Martinez and Chalon, Monsignor Guerreroville. That's right there by Shell Dandan. Already starting in both directions. Folks trying to get up and get out of there. It is a little difficult. But don't worry. It's only going to get worse in the next 15 minutes or so. So if you got to hurry up and get going and get to work by 7:30, you might be in a little bit of trouble if you haven't gotten out of bed yet. That's all right. Now's your time. We're your wake-up call. Get out there. Get ready to go to work. All right, there's other places around Saipan that we have a little traffic going on right now. Here, look at our perennial trouble spots. It's looking pretty good right now. We're Middle Road meets Chalmont Senior Guerrero over by IT&E. Finally, you got it going, looking pretty good over there, but it's probably going to slow down. Starting already to slow down a little bit over there by the former AK intersection. That's to be expected. And again, that's going to get a little troublesome. Remember, use these little sideways, creep through the village. Don't go flying through the village, though. You don't want to be that guy. But you could go down Amorsha Way, or you can go down by Giegi Street and make your way through. Cruise right by the church on Ushira Way. If I said that right, Ushira Way. All right, pretty close. We're close. We're close enough. But really, make your way through. Take those little side streets. Avoid that kind of traffic that's just going to hold you up. Over there by the tennis courts, it's not looking too great. Well, actually, it is looking pretty great right now. It was slower earlier. So coming down Navy Hill, right now is your time. If you want to get to work and you want to beat all that traffic, you got a great chance to do it. Do it now. Go. And then if you're over there in... this is a tough spot. This is down in Chalon-PO. It is starting to become the nightmare intersection because GPPC is spreading their construction goodness out there to all the folks in Chalon-PO. They're like, well, I know you like 2 lanes in both ways. How about we just give you 1 lane each way, and we're going to cause all kinds of love on the road and construction and archaeology. Yeah, there's a lot of archaeology going on down there right now. Because they're going through spots. Admittedly, it's been disturbed already. They've already done these roads before, but once they get down a couple of feet deep, you're going in disturbed soil. You'll see some of that dark sand that's in there. That's all stuff that's burnt up stuff, bombs and everything from the war. That's what that dark burnt up sand looks like. Wrecked vehicles, you name it. That's all like burnt up petrol. You name it. That's all what that stuff is. And it's pretty cool. But, you know, the thing is, though, there was also like a burial area for folks out there. So that's why they got the archaeologists out there looking for remains. They end up finding fish hooks. They find the remains of people and all kinds of stuff. So it takes a while once they start getting that construction project going. And it's going to keep on being that way. Anyway, but you know what you got. That's why you want to get out there and get there early. And that's why we give you the traffic update. Give you a fighting chance even before you get out there with all the traffic and with all the cars and all that stuff that's out there. So now you know. Speaking of traffic, we actually had a tragedy occur yesterday. The Rhoda mayor, Ephraim Atalig, he died yesterday morning. He was pronounced dead when he had a traffic one vehicle crash where he crashed into the one of the power poles in Rhoda. And a real tragedy way before his time. I mean, he had a good life, but you know you don't expect that that's going to happen. Happened yesterday. He got to the clinic at around 1 o'clock, and he got into the accident at about 11 a.m. 63 years old. He was heading south from San Paulo, heading down to Song Song. And he hit the pole across from the Lucky 2 store. We don't have any, more information about like what happened, what was he doing. Something happened on the road. Don't know. Maybe he had some kind of a health crisis as he was driving, but he went off and he ended up hitting the road, and just the impact just did him in. It's a tragedy. We got to meet the mayor many times over the years. He was really great to us every time we went to Rhoda. He always made time for us. When we went in there, we always, paid respects to him when we went over there to visit him. And he was if you got to know him, he was a really nice guy. He was really welcoming and all that stuff. He let us in there. He let us in with the meetings, anything that we could have done to help him out. And it's too bad. He had some other things going on, but I'll tell you what, he was always kind to us. And, we won't forget him for sure. Thank you, Ephraim Athelig, the late Ephraim Athelig. He was a good mayor to us. He was a good friend to us. Whenever we needed anything, give him a call, and he's there. So we'll miss you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have a really good segue for that, so we're just going to take a real quick commercial, and then just to break it up, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
Wait for Black Friday to score a great deal. Head to IT&E right now for Black November. All month long, bring home a free smartwatch or other accessories when you get one of the latest phones on the device payment plan. A new phone plus infinite data for as low as $65 a month to connect to who and what matters the most all year long. It's the deal that keeps on giving. Visit ite.net for details. IT&E. Connections that matter.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Good morning, everybody. It just dawned on me after seeing all that was down. You guys might not have heard the audio for any of those commercials. That's awesome. Well, we'll make sure we fix that in the next break. Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. It is Good Morning Marianas. We're 7:23 on a Friday morning, and it is great outside. The weather is fantastic, and the traffic, well, you can see it for yourself. It is moving along. It's hustling. It's bustling, and that's going to keep happening. If you're trying to get anywhere on the roads, we'll give you an update here again in about 7 minutes. Today, we've also got a special guest in studio who's coming in at 8 o'clock this morning. Ken Stewart, the Guam food guy. He's made his way to Guam, and made his way from Guam, and we're going to have him in here to tell us about all the good stuff that he's been doing with a lot of our local talent here in Guam. That's right. They do a lot of stuff for our chefs and our cooks and everything here, but then they also bring them over to Guam and have these great events and help them out, help them improve themselves. And can't get any cooler than that. And we get to have him in studio. He's a great guy. He does a ton of different things, and I'm really glad that we got him in here. Also, today is your big day. You see these? Whoa! These are your passes. We're giving away 2 free buckets of beer tonight. Today. You don't have to have it tonight, but we want to help you get your weekend started right. Last Shot Bar is going to be giving these away to you. So what we'll end up doing, we'll tell you to give us a call, and the number is going to be 789-2323. It's the same number we always have, 789-2323. You have to be listening live to win, right? You can't be watching this show later in the day and and try to win. Now, we might do other contests like that. But the one that we got this morning, you got to be listening live to do it. Again, we want to give these things away, but Last Shot Bar wants to make sure you get your weekend started off right and with a free bucket of beer. And so we're going to give away 2 of those tonight. Now, don't get excited. It's not one full bucket of beer that you just chug like that. It is a bucket with beer cans in them, all right? And it's not like a trash can. It's not that kind of bucket. It's not one of those 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot or Ace. No. This is one of those regular standard buckets that you're used to at the bars. Anyway, free bucket of beer, and that's going to be a regular fixture for us. Last Shot Bar joining on with us at the program. They want to do this kind of stuff. It sounds great to me, so we're going to try to push that stuff out to you as well. So get ready. We are going to give that first one out, and we'll do it. The first one that we'll do it just before Guam Food Guy gets on at 8 o'clock. Second one we'll do a little bit toward the end of the program, and but again, we're going to do them both. There'll be phone lines. In fact, what'll be the signal? I thought about a trivia. I thought about a signal. I thought about something. But I'm like, you know what can we do that really sounds like it'll make sense for us for the morning? So you're going to be going out there and having some fun. I think, I don't know. I'm like, what could it be? If you hear this, no, that didn't work. What's going on? You know what? I think I moved that file. That's right. How about this one? I think this will be it. That'll be it. Yeah. Well, either way, we'll give you the signal. We'll tell you what to do. It's going to be around 8 o'clock is the first one. So be sure that you're on here, ready to go. And at 8 o'clock, get ready to call that number. It's 789-2323, 789-2323. So get ready. That's going to be happening. That's what's going to be happening around 8 o'clock. So, but now we'll get back to our local headlines. We want to make sure. Oh, you know what? Here, when you hear the chickens, that's when we're going to do it. Do you remember the chickens? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. When you hear the chicken songs go on, that is when it's going to be. So it's going to be somewhere around 8 o'clock and somewhere around 9 o'clock. So you got to be ready around those times. I mean, you can listen live, all right? What does it mean to do something like that? You never know what it could be. It might sound like it's a regular song that's getting ready. And we're talking and giving the lead in. Hey, get ready. We are back here in Saipan at 7:28 a.m. And next thing you know, while I'm giving that update, you hear something like this in the background. So when you hear the chickens later in the broadcast, that is your time to call our headline, to call our phone lines for your chance to win a bucket of beer from Last Shot Bar. All right, so get ready for that. That's going to be later. And remember, the number is 789-2323. When you hear the chickens, that's the sign. Now, it doesn't have to be that song. It could be a different song. We have no shortage of chicken songs. So that's it. When you hear the chickens, it's your time to call. It's like your wake-up call. Make sure that you can win some prizes. A bucket of beer from Last Shot Bar. They're going to be cans. Yes, that's right. This is satisfying all you guys who love those chicken sounds that I haven't been playing for a while. It's pretty good. But that's it. So sorry, Eric, not bottled. It's in cans. But you know what? Hey, I'll give you a fun fact. I've been to a bunch of these presentations from the Budweiser brewmaster. And he said the beer in the bottle is the same as the beer in the can. But the reason why people think it tastes different is because the people who drink the bottle or drink the beer out of the cans, he calls them can sniffers. Think about it. Whenever you eat anything, your taste and your smell, they're all connected. But when you're drinking out of the can, it smells like the top of that can when you're drinking that beer. That's why it smells different or tastes different. So he says, here's what you do. Never drink the beer out of the bottle, interestingly enough. And he also says never drink the beer out of the can because they are overpressurized with, especially with the stuff out of the cans. They're overcarbonated. So you let it out and then you pour it into a glass. One, it's going to release all that extra carbon dioxide. So it just gets to go out. And by doing that, one, you're not going to get that can sniffing sensation. Number two, you're going to release so much of that extra gas that you will be able to drink, and he said this, an extra 20% of beer. No kidding. Now, I think that's an important fact right there. Yeah, the smell of aluminum. That's right. But hey, Toba, it's not just the smell of aluminum. Where's that can been? That can had to take a while to get here. Who knows what happened? Might be the smell of the cardboard that it's been sitting in that box too. So either way, the important part is you pour that can into a glass. It gets rid of so much of that carbon dioxide that they put into it that it allows you to drink an extra 20% of beer. Think about those old guys. No, not me. Sitting at the bar like in the 80s, right? Think about the OGs for us. The guys in the 70s drinking their Schlitz. They always had those little glasses. Remember those old man beer glasses? That's what they're doing. Those guys are pros. We are freaking rookies compared to them. Those little old man beer glasses, there's a reason why they had those. They had those because they are pros. They can drink more and be bloated less. Maybe they were healthcare experts, smoking 2 packs a day of non-filtered cigarettes, slicking back their hair with Wild Root. Yeah. Okay, maybe we're pushing a little bit too far. But the good news is that we're about a half an hour away from giving you that first bucket of beer from Last Shot Bar. We love it. I'm excited about this. This is just the first. Again, today we're going to do 2. But we're going to do this every Friday. We're going to be giving away a free bucket of beer over at Last Shot Bar, and that's with our new partnership with them. Pretty cool. Also, Atkins Curl Toyota, big new sponsor for the Saipan Baseball League Masters League, for their coverage of the league, that they're going to be giving away a prize for the player of the game, the AK player of the game. And what happens is they're going to give away some like a prize package from Atkins Curl. So after we pick the player of the game, they can go down to the dealership and pick up their prize pack. They just want to take a picture with you and use that as some of their, post it up online, and we'll post it up online with us too to recognize the player of the game. Pretty cool. We're really looking forward to that. All right, let's get down to some of the other top stories that we've gone to. And one of the big stories out there is from the mayor of Tinian. We spoke about the mayor of Rhoda a little bit ago. In fact, hold on, let's see if I got a message back. No, I did not yet. But Mayor Edwin Aldon, the mayor of Tinian, he's wrapping up his last couple of years in office because he got reelected already. So he get 4-year terms. He's got 2 of them. He's on his second one now. He's urging Public Works to try and get some more money for the folks in Messinamine. He's saying, let's review the cost of the construction activities in Tinian so the Department of Finance can collect a developer infrastructure tax. He says, hey man, there's a lot of money out here that we could be getting. And, we have a 2% tax on the total cost for construction projects. So how's that working for us right now? So the question is that applying to the folks in the military? Well, it's got to. That's part of this. And he reached out to Ray Hummel through a letter. Said, look, hey, we're missing out on at least a 2% levy on all these things. This developer's tax, he said, it represents a significant source of revenue that our municipality must capitalize on to address pressing infrastructure needs. He said it's designed to be collected on the cost of development projects, contributed to the funding of public infrastructure improvements that are necessary to support the growth and changes brought by such developments. He says, as you're aware, Tinian is currently experiencing considerable military activity, including projects such as the Burt Airfield at Westfield and the proposed the CJMT activities. He said these projects involve extensive construction efforts impacting our island's infrastructure and resources. He said despite the immense scale of all this stuff, our municipality has yet to benefit from this developer's tax revenue. Yeah, got to get it while you can, for sure. You have to get it while you can, because after that construction's done, there's not going to be anything left on that tax. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've flown over to Tinian recently, but holy cow, there's so much going on there. And I don't mean just like right at that airport area, although there is a ton. When you fly over Northfield, there is so much there. Like there's so much equipment. There's so much everything. In fact, here, let's see if I can't show you some here from my last trip over to Tinian. It's incredible. I drove around over there as well on the Northfield part. There's so much going on over at Northfield. Like they've bulldozed everything. They've got these big burning areas for all the trees. Now, there's a reason why you don't see all the smoke, because they have these big contraptions that are meant to reduce the smoke output from all of the trees that they bulldozed up there. I mean, it's mostly Tongan. It's not like it's something fancy or some indigenous tree. Those are those trees that were dropped in after all the use of, napalm in World War II. The first version of napalm. So just scrolling over to show you a little bit of some of the overhead stuff. Gosh, what did we go over there for? We were just there. Veterans, Marine Corps birthday. There we go. We went over there on the birthday, looking for my video of the flight. Looking down over there. I think that's it. Or was it more on the flight back? Well, either way, I've got some. I didn't hang out long that day. We ended up coming back and shot some stuff on the way over. But either way, the most important part about all that stuff is that there's so much construction going on over there that you don't want to miss the opportunity to get some of that tax money that we could get out of it. And it's not an after the fact thing. It's like, hey, while it's going on now, because after they leave, there's nothing left. There's nothing left for us to get. Hold on, just scrolling down, just looking for. This is my last shot at trying to find this stuff. Okay, so that's all the Guam stuff, and I flew to Guam the next morning afterwards from Tinian. So this should be all the Tinian stuff. All right, there we go. All right, that is definitely it. The divert spot is wild, but all the stuff in Tinian at the Northfield is just incredible. All right, so I think that's when I went down that first ramp. Here, let me send this one over first to show you guys. And we'll put this one up on the screen here in just a second. Send that over. Go back to here. And then the next one will be that drive down a little bit further. Okay, we'll send that to myself as well. And I'll tell you what, if you've ever been driving up north to the airfield areas, you know what it's like. You know all those roads and everything like that. And you know like how you used to go to runway Able, where the atomic bombs, the Enola Gay and the boxcar took off from. And maybe you have gone to, one second. Maybe you have gone to runway Baker. That's the runway that was really nicely preserved and still used during training exercises and all that stuff. But to see them all wide open, they're going to have to get resurfaced too. But then even that little creep road, like when you're starting to head up there, you go past like that main intersection, you got to turn right. Then off to the left, there was that road that went down that was never clear. It's clear. You can get down there too. I had never really gotten an opportunity to see that. So let's take a look here. Hold on just one second. So this is old footage this is from October. And it's way more developed now. This is not Northfield. What you're looking at there, here, I'll pause it real quick. What you're looking at there, in fact, let me track back just a little bit. So this is going to be the apron. So this is the main runway right here. You can't really see it on screen. But the main runway is off to your right. And then what you're seeing at the bottom of the screen right there is the taxiway that they're going to make to get to that big concrete pad over there. and it's going to wrap all the way around. And then where it wraps up all the way at the far point over there, at the eastern part of it, it's going to be, it's going to cut across the runway to the main terminal as well. So if you look at the top left, that little facility thing that they've got over there, that's where they're making all the concrete, and it's pretty impressive. This is old. This is about a month ago. I flew over there about a week and a half ago, and you can see there's more development. But that's going to be the hub where they do all that training. That's where they're going to do all the maintenance for all the aircraft over there that'll be here. And again, this is primarily for cargo and refuelers, and that's why there's going to be so much fuel over there. They're going to have that. They're going to have like 1.6 million gallons of fuel over there, and that's why that fuel pipeline is going to be a big deal over there. Hold on, one second. Yeah, Sean, that you should recognize that wing. If you could pick out which plane it was, though. Yeah, we flew over there with the Tinian Air Force, Star Marianas. This is when we went over for the Oktoberfest. But if you could name the plane based on just the tip of that wing, that would be like that Name That Tune. That would be like the impressive feat on Name That Tune. All right, we're going to see if the other one's a bigger file. All right, here we go. It's here already? That's great. All right, so what we'll do, the audio on this one isn't as important. Also, you don't want to look at the speedometer. This is the ride as you're going out there. Like, I'm going in the direction. Oh, hey, I just heard myself say woo. Yeah, I was moving as I go through there. This was from that trip also. So there's been more development since then, since this one came out. Now, hold on. Maybe if I do this, turn that volume down, and I could turn this up a little bit. There we go. Over there, that's the road down the Chigat. We'll move over. I'm just going to speed up a little bit down the road. This is where you're going down the road in Tinian, where if you take a right up at the end of this, where we end up taking a left, if you take a right, you're going to the blowhole. Over here to the right, what you're really looking at, that's the old range, right? The Chigat range. They still have the fence up and everything like that, but that was the site of an intense clearing project from the military that went through to clear all the UXO, the unexploded ordnance that's out there. Fun fact, ordnance and ordnance, similar word. One letter I makes a big difference between what's an explosive device and what is a rule. All right, so here's where you take that left on that not so great road to get over to the runways. Right? You've probably taken this road if you've been to Tinian. I've been on this road I don't know how many times over the past like 22 years. But now what happens is when you get to the end of it, if you take a right, that's when you get to runway Able, and that's where they put that thing. That's where the Enola Gay and the boxcar took off. This was not designed to be awesome camera work. Okay, here we go. So we're going to take a left. Again, if you take a right, that takes you. But look how wide open it is right now. The trees used to be all the way up to where that cone is. There used to be a big sign there right at that site that told you what everything was. Look how wide open this is. This used to be all encroached by the trees. So that's runway Baker over to the right. That's where you'll still see military aircraft take off and land. That's where I got to meet with a bunch of special forces guys from the Australian military. And then we took their four-wheelers and drove around and took them over to the cool World War II sites. And I'll tell you what, pretty badass riding, driving their ATVs all around. Like, who gets this life? This guy. All right, so this road, see how wide open this is? This road, 100% covered before this project started. The spot that we're actually driving at would be all trees. And it's not like you'd be able to get through easily. Oop, crap. Sorry, guys. Not sure how I managed to do that to you. Let's get back to where we were. Here we go. So anyway, now they have bulldozed all of this stuff, clearing out everything. that was blocking everything out, right? So you're looking at, now see that mound over there? You think that's a hill in Tinian? No, that's where all that stuff got pushed and bulldozed. Now you're going to see this little structure off to the left. We're going to creep up to it. It's this little green looking thing, but first of all, here's another runway. I don't know if I panned it right enough, but panning left and right. See that big mound? And that thing that in the distance, that's a vehicle. This mound is all the trees, all the rubble that they just pushed up. Great camera work here. But let's speed up a little bit. All of this, that's not natural topography. That's all stuff that's been bulldozed over there. And see, now that's that green contraption where they are painstakingly going through that. See, look at that thing. That bulldozer looks like it's been sitting for so long. That's the Air Force leading the way. It's been sitting so long, the Ivy's trying to take it back. It looks like a zombie graveyard, right? Kind of movie thing. Anyway, so you see all that stuff. These green contraptions, that's where they're burning all of this wood. And it's meant to really reduce the smoke output and really dampen it out. I had never seen anything like this. I didn't know that these kind of things existed. But they're doing this so that they're not, one, causing even more damage to the environment and to the local populace. We would be seeing, could you imagine what the smoke from burning all that stuff would be like? This is runway number 4 over here. You know, it's funny, on the tree line to the left, on the other side of that, there's a whole nother road and everything that runs parallel with that road that you saw us driving down earlier in the video. And so we're trying to drive around and see all this other stuff. And you see, there's so many construction vehicles, which I didn't expect in this process too. Later, let me see if, while you guys are watching this part, let me see if there's also, if I have another video from when I was down there seeing those other vehicles. No, this is the one that took me down that road. This is me taking a picture of the shipping label. This is this video that we're watching right now. No, but I ended up going down there too. A lot of trucks, a lot of military, a lot of non-military vehicles. Okay, I think this road that we're cruising down will still show us a bunch of vehicles that are stacked up, getting ready. But even when I shot this, when I flew over about a week and a half ago, there was even more. So like, even though there's a lot more construction going on, even though there's a lot more happening. Hey, good morning, Ken. Hey, even though more folks are, stuff is happening, there's still a whole lot more that came in since this vehicle, or since this video. So this is where everybody's rolling in and making their way through. And you see all these trucks lined up. This is nothing compared to what they have now. There are so many more. You think this is a lot, and you're correct. That's a lot. But there ended up being so many more vehicles. There's a lot of stuff happening in Tinian. So this is what the Tinian mayor is talking about. He's like, hey, if we got to take advantage. We already got the laws on the books for us to get this 2% of all the construction stuff that's going in there, and that's going to be a big deal. I bet those vehicles stay in Tinian too. I don't think that they're going to end up being shipped out. I think that that's going to be stuff that ends up staying there. At least people are going to have the opportunity to bid on them, like our local contractors from Saipan, Tinian, probably going to try to get some of those things. That's what I would do. I would say, hey, why would you spend all that money shipping it again? You know, why don't we take it off your hands? We'll help you out a little bit. All right. And we're about 10 minutes away from the Guam food guy being in here today with us, and that's going to be pretty cool. And then we're going to be giving away our first bucket of beer from Last Shot Bar within the next 10 minutes. It's going to happen. So get ready for that. A whole bunch of folks just got their citizenship, though. So that was a bigger prize. And I absolutely love it when we have these things. The big speaker was Joint Region Marianas Commander Rear Admiral Brent DeVore. Actually, Brent DeVore, in his remarks, he he told people, he's like, hey, your journey is a story of courage, determination, and resilience. I love it. I actually was, I got to speak for a couple of these events, and they were really great. I loved it. I actually got to write the speech for at least one admiral who gave these kind of speeches as well. It's such a great opportunity for folks, and these are folks who are actively trying to become American citizens, working toward that. And man, that might be the best kind. Those are the people who really want it and really fighting for it. And man, I would be kind of stoked. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. 1 second. Oh yeah. Sorry, I just saw your comment about those runways. That is that's excellent. You think they can clear Best Sunshine? That would be great. That would be funny. Hold on just 1 second. I want to see if I can find it. No, not that one. Yes. Let's see if this is the one that I wrote. This is the one I wrote. All right, we'll do this, and that'll lead us into the break. But for the naturalization, the most recent folks who got received their citizenship or earned their citizenship, there's 20 of them. And that's generally about the right number where they go with them. But here's the speech I got to deliver. When do I have the date on here? I think I do. Oh my gosh. 7 years ago? 7 years ago. Holy cow, does time fly by. That pandemic does a thing. So don't mind my my bad pronunciation, but I tried. So the Jonachim Zoshanghao Mandanga Umaga Hafaday Tiro Zan good morning. Before I begin, I'd like to thank the judge. I can go past there. Yeah. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Magistrate Judge Heather Kennedy and Judicial Chambers Administrator Amanda Hayes for the invitation and opportunity to speak on this joyous occasion. It's a great honor for me to to be here among the first to welcome you all as my fellow Americans. In just a few minutes, you'll raise your right hand and take the oath of allegiance and the Pledge of Allegiance, just as my great-grandparents did about 100 years ago. Save for one, all of my great-grandparents immigrated to the United States at the turn of the century to chase the American dream. All of my father's grandparents made the journey from Poland, while my mother's grandparents came from Hungary and England, save for my great-grandpa Neil, who was a Native American of the Cherokee tribe. So you've got a lot in common with my great-grandparents. You found the courage to leave your homeland in search of something new, something better. You're adventurers, explorers, not content with what was given, intrigued by the challenge ahead. Today is a big step, but it is just the first step in your American journey. Our country, that's yours and mine. Our country is great because of the millions of men and women like yourselves who saw the potential in our republic. It's one where a person's future is not bound by class or caste, where one can, through hard work and sacrifice, improve one's station, where one is guaranteed the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Practice any religion. Love whomever the heart chooses, and where one's destiny is not limited by the color of their skin, but rather by the content of their character. This is our country, our nation, our way of life. And we must cherish this unparalleled liberty, lest it be taken from us. As the sons of immigrants, each of my grandfathers served in the armed forces, both with the United States Army. My father would follow suit when he enlisted with the Air Force. And when it came my turn, I enlisted with the Army. My service provided me with an opportunity to see some of the lengths to which men, women, and children will go to find a better life. In 1995, my unit was deployed to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, amidst a humanitarian crisis. That year, 25,000 Cubans and 25,000 Haitians set sail for American shores in hopes of finding freedom. Members of all the armed services were well represented in Guantanamo as we looked after 50,000 refugees who trusted their lives to the structural integrity of their makeshift rafts on the open sea. On the base, we were only able to meet those who successfully survived their voyage after they were picked up by the Coast Guard. The temporary residents of Camp McCullough and Camp Phillips left their homeland under the threat of punishment to themselves and their family members if caught. And they did so only to face the unforgiving sea teeming with equally unforgiving sharks. As the survivors shared their terrifying details of their journey, I wondered how much it would take for me to gather my family, board a craft of my own making, and challenge nature's wrath. This was their reality. Their inner cries for freedom would not be silenced by their darkest fears. They sought freedom, they risked their lives for it, and in turn they earned their new lives in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And that's their story. Each of you has a unique story that starts today. When you leave this courtroom, you are 100% Americans. There is no waiting period. Your life of freedom, with all the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen of our great nation, your power of choice, it starts today. Isn't that great? It's not all easy, though. Your new duties and responsibilities as Americans also begin today. You are now citizens of the wealthiest, most powerful, and most influential nation mankind has ever known. We have invented electric light, flew the first airplane, sent the first and only men to the moon. And we did all of that as the descendants of immigrants. When you decided to apply for citizenship, you saw the potential of our nation. And now we need the greatness in each of you to fulfill our role in this world. How we choose our new leaders is now in your hands. Should you choose to remain in the CNMI, you may now vote in our local elections. And remember, when I say our, that includes you. Educate yourselves about the candidates who will run for office and what their jobs will entail. We've got legislators whose job it is to represent the residents of their precincts. We've got senators whose job it is to represent the residents of their respective islands. And we've got a governor and lieutenant governor whose job it is to represent our fair Commonwealth at home and abroad. We've also got a U.S. congressman whose job it is to represent the best interests of our Commonwealth to his counterparts from all the states and territories in Washington, D.C. You now have a say in who fills those seats. If you feel the office holders do not represent your best interests, you can let them know. And if you don't like what you see, you can vote for someone else. You have this power, but in order to use it, you must register to vote. Don't wait. We have a major election in November, and we all play a pivotal role in determining how we move forward. Our community will not be fully represented without the voices of our newest citizens. So you've got to get started. And I've got a little gift for each of you. But this will turn into a gift for yourselves. I have a packet that includes a map and a phone number, an address of our Commonwealth Election Commission, and that's where you register to vote. Also, got a voter registration package for all of you. All you need to do is fill out the application, bring it to the appropriate identification to their office, and just like that, you'll be registered to vote for our next representatives, next senators, our next governor, and our next U.S. congressman. And when you vote, do so knowing your voice counts. Cherish the opportunity you have, the opportunity for which people have risked their lives. Be sure to share the story of your journey to citizenship so that others might appreciate what they may already take for granted. Today, you are Americans. Now and forever, we are countrymen of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hongyamhanida, Hualing Jiwa, Malingayang Pandating, probably bad, but got it. My friends, welcome home. That was my speech that I gave 7 years ago, holy cow, to the newest group of U.S. citizens when they were naturalized in our local courts. And I'll tell you what, it was an honor to be able to welcome them in there with a speech, to even be recognized, to be asked to something like that. But what a task, right? They're asking you to, would you be the one who would speak to these new citizens? Well, that's what it means to us, and that's what it means to you guys. We're going to get started. We're going to take a real quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have our guest in studio, and we might have something a little bit more exciting that happens right after that. So you don't want to go very far away. I'm telling you, that would be a mistake. So we'll see you in just a little bit.
We be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. President-elect Donald Trump is looking again for a nominee for Attorney General. Matt Gaetz is out. A federal sex trafficking investigation casts doubt on his ability to be confirmed. The AP's Eric Tucker is in Washington.
Gaetz said that he feared that the allegations risked becoming a distraction for the Trump-Vance transition. Trump issued his own statement praising him.
The president-elect's allies on Capitol Hill rallied around Pete Hegseth, his Pentagon pick, even as new details surfaced about allegations he had sexually assaulted a woman in 2017.
I'll keep this very simple. The matter was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
Vladimir Putin says Russia has attacked Ukraine with a new ballistic missile after Ukraine used missiles provided by the U.S. and Britain. Here's the AP's Sagar Magani.
Putin says the missile's called Oreshnik, Russian for hazelnut tree. Flying at 10 times the speed of sound, he says U.S. air defenses cannot stop it, and it can be used to strike any Ukrainian ally whose missiles are used to attack Russia.
This was a new type of lethal capability that was employed on the battlefield. So that's certainly of concern to us.
Pentagon spokeswoman Sabrina Singh says it was a new experimental type of intermediate range missile based on Russia's existing intercontinental ballistic missile.
With a range way beyond any of that seen in this conflict so far.
British military expert Matthew Saville says it was a clear message from Putin to Ukraine's allies.
These could be nuclear tipped. Do you really want to take that risk?
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his crazy neighbor showed again what he really is and urges Western nations to mount a tough response. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Stocks finished higher. The Dow up 461 points. This is AP News. The Justice Department says police in Trenton, New Jersey have shown a pattern of misconduct.
It shows that arrests were made without legal basis, officers escalated situations with aggressive tactics, and some unnecessarily used pepper spray. Philip Selinger is the U.S. District Attorney for New Jersey.
And if the community feels threatened by those who wear the badge, those who are supposed to protect them, it undermines public safety and endangers the very citizens they swore to protect and serve.
The 45-page report comes after a roughly year-long investigation into the Trenton Police Department that started after an officer shot and paralyzed a young black driver. The Justice Department investigation found the police department's practices violate the Fourth Amendment. I'm Haya Panjwani.
The UN Nuclear Watchdog Board is again condemning Iran for failing to cooperate fully with the agency. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Oh, somebody was smart enough. Somebody heard it. Here we go. Good morning, Hump Day Zentiro. Thanks for calling this show. Who's this?
Brad!
Yes.
This is Louisa.
Your name's not Brad. My name's Brad.
I know. I just like saying your name because you're a visionary.
Hey, well, you are the first caller. Are you calling to claim your prize?
Yes, sir.
Well, you got it. Oh, there's other calls coming in now. They're a little bit late, but you have it. Louisa Cabrera, you are now the winner of the first bucket of beer ever given away on the show, courtesy of Last Shot Bar. I know where to find you tonight. Normally, I would have other people come and pick it up at the show, and you could still come down to the studio to do it. But I know where you're going to be after. But if you want to go there first and pick it up, you could.
No, save me a trip, Brad. I'll see you at the ball field tonight.
All right.
For your debut.
All right, so you are the big winner. So it's a free bucket of beers. It's going to be in cans from Last Shot Bar. On this pass, we've got their contact info. You got our contact info. And it's individually numbered. And so when we give this to you, you just take it down to Last Shot Bar and claim your prize. And that's pretty cool.
Sweet. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Last Shot.
Hey, and thanks for listening, because you heard that what we said. It's when the chickens go off. That's going to be the prize. So it's a new thing for us. It's our first time that we did it. So number one is Louisa. Look at that. You are simply the best. You're the first winner of the first beer giveaway contest that we have here.
Woohoo!
Yes. So congratulations. Thanks. And so is Chuck going to be down there on the field tonight? Is he going to be in the dugout?
Yes, he will. He'll be on the opposite side of you.
All right. Yeah, we'll see him tonight at the ballpark too. Oh, I got another call coming in. This is we're going to do, our next one is going to be at around 9 o'clock, right at the close of the show. So people will still have another chance to win. Remember, you've got to call in and for your chance to win. So the number is 789-2323, 789-2323. Thanks so much, Louisa, and we'll see you tonight at the ballpark.
Thanks, Brad. See you.
All right, thanks. All right. Now, that's part of the fun that we've got with our new sponsor, Last Shot Bar. You can't miss them. They're located in Chalon-Canoa in the perfect spot where you can get a little mix of everything. You've got Laddie Belt 24-hour fitness, where you can go and get all pumped up and ready to go for a night. And then you go and take that all swole pump. You take it next door. You go to Last Shot Bar, and then you go and meet some people, have some fun. And if things work out, you can go right next door, get a room over at Surf Club. And next morning, you can treat that special person that you just met to breakfast over at Great Harvest. Well, hey, we talked about them, that we've got a special guest in studio today, and we're really excited to have them for sure, because, it's not every day that we get someone who flies from Guam on a Lear jet, or maybe a Continental United jet, and comes over and joins us in studio. But today we've got someone special, all the way from Guam. We're really happy to have him. You know him as Ken Stewart. You might know him just as the Guam food guy, but we know him as one of our friends, and we're so happy to have him in here. Ken, thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
Buenas, good morning, Hafiday and Turo. It's great to be here in Saipan. Beautiful place.
Well, you've been here a million times. Let's find out about this. Like, you've been out here in the whole region for years, but when did you first get out here?
Well, Guam in 1959 for a couple of years. My dad was in the Air Force.
When you were, what, 4?
Well, I was timeless then. I'm still timeless. But my first time in Saipan was 74. So that's a long time ago. And so I have a lot of photos of some of that. I haven't shown you all the photos, but I've got archives of pictures, and some show the Nauru building before anything was built there. They had the bank was downstairs, Bank of Hawaii, I guess it was. And anyway, that's just some of the photographs. But Saipan is just an evolving, beautiful place. It's been able to withstand so much. Guam has its own share of things, but I think Saipan's had, probably more typhoons in the short period of time. Those back-to-backs were pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that. So everybody recovered pretty quickly here. So, but yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here. And you've taken this this life of promotion. I met you. You came out here first time in '74, but I met you for the first time in 2006.
Okay.
And that was I got a message from my editor when I was with the Tribune, the JV.
Right. Okay.
He's like, "Hey, my friend is working with this group, Pacific Wine and Spirits, and they got a coffee event going on at Aqua Resort Club, and they need an MC. Do you want to do it?" I'm like, "Okay." I mean, I don't really know anything about coffees, but sure, I'll do it. So that was the Illy Cafe thing that you guys did in 2006.
Yes, that was a really wonderful event. And Aqua's always been a very supportive, location to do these kind of events, and good management team over there. It's just a lot of fun. But yeah, you hit a career with us that was long time spanned maybe a couple of days, almost 2 decades. Because you've been emceeing events. I was with Das last night over at Crown, and he was looking at the whole album of the things we did for the Top Chef. The competition, and you were emceeing that, and just saying, well, gosh, you're into everything, Brad. Well, thank you for all the things with PWS. It's been wonderful. The wine events. The funniest one was when we couldn't get to Saipan. Our whole team was trying to get her for our wine rally, and you were there to MC it, and we were stuck because the airline couldn't take off.
Yes. Mechanical stuff back in the old Cape Air days, right? Cape Fear.
Yeah.
And I remember that, but we still had the prizes.
Yeah.
So what we ended up doing was just coming up with some games and some events and still celebrating the whole thing. And still, we did the raffles and all that. And we had a blast. We had a great time.
Awesome time.
And then we were able to call you guys when you're either stuck on the plane or stuck in the airport, and held the microphone up there so we could still pass along the messages from you guys.
Everybody was cheering in the background. We're having more fun without you guys. It was kind of nice. But, I always had a lot of special feelings here. Going back, part of my business has been food service equipment, and I worked with a company called Micro, actually Atkins Kroll in Guam. And
Same company.
Yeah. Before that, there was a company called Smith Hotel and Restaurant, but they were bought by Atkins Kroll. And so I was very fortunate to be able to work with people like Frank Diaz, the former mayor here of Saipan, and he was our manager, and I was just here to support him. And we had various things we did. We represented Johnson Wax, 3M, Clark Floor Machines.
Wow.
And so we had 2 big seminars here. All the housekeepers from all the hotels came. And so that was one of the things that was very much involved. And I also worked with hotel equipment. So we've been working with Hyatt before. A lot of that, we helped build a Chinese kitchen. That's a long time ago, And also there was and that was like and Breezes. So it was like history, for me. So coming back again, and when this thing closed down, I was doing part of that too, and it was kind of bittersweet because I was close to like Chef Colombo. We're always communicating. He's one of my closest and dearest friends. But we're very fortunate to have people on Saipan who. He loves Saipan. He would stay here forever if he could. So hotel work, and then the real achievement, I sent you some pictures, I think, about it, was the NMTI at the time.
Well,
and I helped build that.
I'll send you. How about you sent me a bunch of pictures? I'm going to share one with you in a second. But let's see. So these are some older ones, though, first. You'll see them here. Here we go.
Well, those are recent there. That one there, we just had that 3 weeks ago. The top culinary wonders of the Pacific, and that's top 10 chefs on Guam. So our chef association, I'm wearing this shirt here, MCA, Micronesia Chef Association. That's the organization that put this on. It was a fundraiser, it's a nonprofit, but we have chefs, and we were trying to get some work done in Saipan, but things kind of changed a little bit when some of the other chefs left. But yes, this was a great dinner. We happened to have 2 guests who were there who came in from Saipan. And Chef Ben Babauta and Enos Hokog, and they're instructors over there at MTech now. It's MTech, not MTI. But Agnes McFeeters was her, Ty Pauling, the history of the Hyatt being able to get that started. F&B team volunteered to get that program started because it was Anthony Pellegrino's originally, little culinary school, but this became more developed and now it's just flourishing, and seeing those young people who are now wearing their dress whites getting their diploma, for being in the culinary program, graduating, and then going out to work in the community. That is, to me, a great gift, and I was so honored. And I specifically brought up, and I had a picture, I think it shows me and those guys with me at the dinner, and I have a picture of my iPad with the picture of them in the culinary, so I think that was kind of a nice touch to show both Enos and Ben, in the kitchen, because they were in the kitchen with me with Ty Pauling and Zen Tamakani. So it's just all these guys who are in the culinary. I'm so excited about them and about the things they're contributing and what they've learned and how they share with young people here to develop their career in food service and culinary.
Wow, some of these presentations on these photos.
Yes, that was what the food was served that night.
How did you have the patience to take a picture of this without just jumping right in and eating this?
Well, I can't take credit for those photos. One of our directors in our group is his name is Leland Fang, and Leland's actually taken over so much photography, and he gets the pictures done. You see me in one of those pictures there, because Leland's taking the photographs. And that was the setup before this event. We had kind of a rehearsal type thing. So this is really well staged, a very big event. And, I wish in the future in Saipan we'd do something like this too. It's a fundraiser. You might be able to raise some money for the culinary arts program here and work at all different levels. But this could be done. It could be not as elaborate as this, but something that's very nice.
Wow, yeah.
Because we've had people come over from Saipan, judges. By the way, this Chef David Jones, his picture there with Milton Morinaga, he just passed, and I was just so sad. He was the chef at the Hyatt Regency, executive chef. And David, it was a shock to some people, many people. I did communicate with Mustafa Issa about his passing, and his sister Rosa called me, and she works at the Hyatt in Guam, and she told me that he had passed. He'd been going through an illness, and just when you think about, life, we're just blessed to be alive and blessed to know people like Chef, who was able to make contributions here and reputation to go to Guam and work over there as well. But he also worked with Mustafa at the Royal Palms. Remember the hotel that used to be the Nico? It came to
yes.
Royal Palms, and so that was kind of an interesting. I had lunch with Samson yesterday, Samson Tan, Grand Rio chef, and we were talking about that, how David was over there. So, yeah, just good memories.
That is great. Wow.
But look at all the chefs. Look at all the different. I didn't mean to overload you with so many pictures because there's so much about that event that was nice.
You sent me a lot of pictures, but that's okay. You keep sending them, but these are great. Look at that.
Yeah, it's magnificent. Well, actually, I was able to help Das last night because he wanted to get my album, which I have. I got a lot of pictures here and a lot of album stuff. So he goes, give me that picture? Give me that picture. And he's just so happy about it because it showed the success of that planning that he went through. And then, you're in there and you're in a lot of pictures. So.
Oh my gosh. I don't know who this woman is at table 5, but she gave the live long and prosper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she gave the Vulcan greeting.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this lady. I don't know who she is.
That's Zenobia. Zenobia Lynn. She's a long time. She and I have been together for a long time. Good friends and just absolutely amazing woman. But she's got that, what do you call it, personality. She works with the crime lab over there, CSI, so she's in that forensic sciences. So
no kidding.
Yeah. She's interesting personality, so I think
I'll try to make this easier for you to see what's going on too. I'll pop on the other the other big
I've
screen.
got a monitor there.
Yeah.
I like your setup here, Brad. This is really high tech. It's
Thanks.
nice.
Hey, here's these guys. Oh wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
Here's the other guys that you know
so there's
well.
Chef Mirko, there's Ben, and there's Ines Hokog. But there's one picture I think in there you'll see later on in the series that has me holding my iPad up with because I honored them. I announced them to the entire audience.
Yeah.
And this was kind of a tribute to Gordon Mizuzawa, who our secretary at the time, and our president's Peter Duenas from Mezcla, and he's just been doing some amazing things here, and here I am.
Oh, your Cartman tie.
My tie is that chef on it, so
that's a great looking tie.
Yeah, well, I tell you, and so here those guys are right there again at the table, and you'll see. Look at that.
Oh,
now, that's the one I was telling you about because it shows me. It shows the actual MTech the day they had the ribbon cutting open up in MTI, and they were there with Ty Pauling and Zen Tamakani.
Wow, that is just
wasn't
great.
that classic? They came all the way over from Saipan, and I'll probably be seeing them today because I go up to MTech. So we provide now like chef uniforms, the chef coats, knife kits that he used for the students, and they have those knife kits forever once they have those. And so it's kind of a really it's nice for me to get this movement, going. I mean, it really started, believe it or not, Brad. It started before, we had the MCA trying to do things, but it was like I was here, and Enos Kitchen.
Yes.
So Frank was over there. Sonny, he was instructing over at Cagman High School. He was in Cagman, and so I donated our company, Tools of the Trade, a knife kit, some cutting boards, some safe handling for how to cut food. Using cutting boards, different color codes, and that was kind of nice to be able to get that started. And that was the very first time I was involved here with Tools of the Trade, which was kind of nice. It's just, I feel like getting back into educating and helping and, getting these students. It was a nice contribution, and we were on TV, and it's good to have people report stuff. But Food Guy has been fun for me. And people still call me Food Guy. I was in the radio a lot, and I'd come to Saipan and do reviews. I'd call John Anderson or call Travis Kaufman.
Yes.
Those guys live call in from Saipan. And it's beautiful. You're having my car talking on the phone. So I used to do it. That's how I had to do it. I had to report. I'd be traveling here on business, and I had to do that.
Well, you could call us from Guam, too, because we still do that stuff. We got the call-ins, and you could do video call-ins. Here's that picture you had up on your iPad.
That's the picture.
Look at those baby faces right there. All of you guys. So there's Enos, there's Zen, there's Ben, and Ty.
Yeah.
And, well, of course, and you right there, front and center in the middle. Look how, that's got to be the cleanest looking kitchen. That's because they just opened it.
It was brand new.
Wow.
But they still maintain it. You go to that classroom over there, and they maintain it. We've added some other things since then, and they've just done a nice job. I got to give Jody all the credit in the world for those people doing the Sheila Babalta. They've done a great job of keeping that place spick and span. It's just because you want to have a clean kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get that discipline, set them up like that in the classroom, they just take it to where they work, and it's an ethic, cleanliness. It's like being in the Marines or like being in the military, the same kind of discipline, which is important. You learn those habits, sanitation.
Wow. Then here's some of the shots from inside there too. Wow, that's a clean looking kitchen.
Now you know what? That right there. There's one picture. There's one with Zen who actually was taking a picture there. He's taking a photograph.
Oh.
And this was the first time local residents here were going to the culinary school, and not just imported people, because we had a lot of imported who were, needed here because we didn't have a local workforce that was trained. So this picture got me so excited, almost brought tears to my eyes, because Zen was so excited. He had his camera behind doing a selfie, showing these guys in the background. And then we had, a lot of the government dignitaries and people were able to come in and have this meal that they prepared that night. So you had previous governor there, and you had a lot of the people who were some senators.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
there right there.
Yeah, you can see John Gonzalez is there.
Yeah.
You got Agnes McFeeters, Victor Hoko, Bishop.
Yep.
And you've got, current governor now.
Yeah.
And then there's Joe Torres and Marion Tudela, some other guys in there as well, who are part of the board. Oh, Chef Colombo. There we go.
So, again, I was doing things like Taste of the Marianas here. I would come over, invited over to be a judge, but also to be an MC. So I was MC, like you're an MC. I was an MC for this event. I had the microphone, walking around talking about chefs, and then, it was, to me, it was a fun, exciting thing. I worked with Triple J, 5-star. We were very good guys over there, good team. And we got the local produce, and you'll see some of the other chefs who were here. Such creativity. I had showcased these pictures, and folks from CAB, they wanted to get copies of the picture because they had that little watermelon carving.
Yeah.
The carvings are really quite beautiful. But I've done about 7 or 8. There's Enos right there. There's
he was in the last one?
Frank so he
there.
was
From Enos Kitchen.
He was a judge. He was
Sonny.
a judge. Sonny.
Yeah.
And then from Everest Kitchen, she actually won one of the competitions, so she became a judge there too.
Oh, yes, she won the top chef.
Yes, she did. So we had her judge, and then we had Chef Lee, Enoch Lee, at that time was from Kensington. And that night there was a Korean barbecue was the theme. So here we had different people who were presenting their Korean barbecue, and so it's nice. I wasn't judging this, but we had those chefs judge.
Wow, I'm just looking at those cuts of beef.
Yeah.
And they look just
right?
amazing.
And there's William Ritardo. I love Chef William. Before I knew him at Marianas Resort, he's, I guess, working at PIC now.
Yeah, I just saw him about a week ago.
One of my good friends. And, you know, all these chefs, we're all so close. I'm just so excited about, you know, being involved with them. So, you know, Jonathan Borja actually won this competition. His presentation was really unique and very well thought of. And you'll see a couple plates of his come out pretty soon where he just gave the judges the sampling, and there you see some of the people, Agnes, and you see Wendy Herring.
Yeah.
And so these are a lot of history. That's just one. And Gloria now is kind of GM at the new hotel opening up, the Marianas Beach Resort.
Yes.
That's the plate right there. Look at the plating.
Wow.
Good how you did this.
Such creativity, too.
There he is, Jonathan. And he's now working over at Crown right now with Chef Chris Adams in Zen. I saw that interview you did with Jody O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
And with those guys. That was kind of a nice setup. I said, well, I like that, you know. This place is beautiful.
Yeah,
There's Jonathan.
We're going to end up going back to Crown a few times.
Yeah.
We're going to figure out the best setup for us over there.
It was nice. It was really clean and bright. You know, it really showcases the island. These podcasts are kind of catching on so much more, and this thing is going to pick up a lot of momentum. You know, and I'm glad to be part of it today. So,
oh, look at this guy!
Oh my gosh, is that me? Some caricature of this guy?
Yeah, it's the Banquet Guide in 2003 by Ken Stewart, the Guam Food Guy.
He's in Directions Magazine. It was Jerry Roberts. I worked with Jerry on that, so you had these pictures of me doing different things, and then you'll see a picture of me as I think it's we had the website called GuamDiner.com. And we did Guam and Saipan restaurants. In fact, we were asked by Tan Holdings to come over and rebrand the Daiichi to the Fiesta.
Wow.
And Gerard Guidon was the guy who was the general manager at the time. And so I worked with Lynn Knight. And we had built up web pages specifically for Fiesta, all the restaurants, you know. And so it was kind of nice to have that and just really help promote. Because there was no other, we were like the site for restaurant information, Guam Diner. Because I had it tied to my radio every Friday morning. I had it tied to my reviews and newsletters. We had recipes. We had all this information, health wine, all loaded this huge website, a giant portal site. And so that was the reason why. Because the phone books could never change, you know, the phone numbers. They came out every Yellow Pages every year. But we were live dynamic. Today, people can't understand the complexity of what we went through. There was no bandwidth before, you know, enough bandwidth. It became more bandwidth as broader as time went on. So technology people can really appreciate. See right there, you see Guam Diner. You had it on that page up there, the page that showed all the different things we have on our website. So,
but I gotta say, this is not the Guam Food Guy. This is the Buff Food Guy. Who is this guy? Look at it. He's all jacked up. It's like the Aaron Neville moment. He's all jacked up and like, I will... And there's a lot more. I love this. Here's the next one you were talking about right here.
Yeah, that right there is a page that shows a booklet that for the military came out, because we were trying to get the information to the military. They come out, they want to know where to go eat and what source. So we'd have our website as the one that did the full complete information presentations. And welcome to Guam, half a day. So we didn't get one for Saipan like that, but I think when they had, remember the airline that came here from Hong Kong, Fly Guam?
Yeah,
there was a Fly Guam. Well, I was actually asked to write articles for their in-flight magazine. And Peter Duenas, Chef Peter, went to Hong Kong, and he learned to put Caligan on these planes, his jets.
Wow.
As part of their service, you know. So you can see the lead seat there, the dining, the food guy. So this is a lot of history. I mean, if I have legacy, that book we did publish, there's Peter there, there's Bertrand, there's Ronnie Calvo, and we have Cheeto from Eagle Plus from Planet Hollywood at the time. And all made recipes for that particular book that we published, which is a directory of all the restaurants on Guam. Had things in Chinese, we had things in Korean, some of the phraseology you use. And our site was just probably one of the, it's just sad because all that was history. But the good thing at last is the U.S. military, Stripes.com. I sent my newsletter every week to them. And so my reviews are all still alive in the stripes.com. So you can go there and see reviews and some of the pictures.
Here's some of the other photos. This is from one of our winners. Look at all these baby faces on here, too.
Yeah.
What year is it? Oh, 2019. This is the last year.
That's the last one we had. Yeah.
Because of all of the pandemic stuff really kind of tanked a lot of it.
Yes, it caused him to tank. So Mark's there, Mark Lim from PWS, and Eileen. And, we were just happy. And there's Brad. I got so many photographs of you. I can't even tell you how many. They're countless. Because, you and I were, that's last night.
Oh, I love it.
Of me and Dust. And me and, oh boy, what a lot of fun. There's just so much. That was and that's where I shared with him those pictures. And he was, wow, we were so excited. And they got some nice people over there.
Oh, Mari Bar is a great spot.
Oh, yeah. Mari's they were busy last night, so.
Oh, and this is the thing you sent.
Yeah.
From
2013? Siberia, yeah.
Wow. A taste of Siberia comes to Saipan. I remember that place. It was in the ABC building. I don't know if that's what it's called, really, but
upstairs. And so, interestingly enough, this was just a picture I saw. That is out of the paper, newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My newsletter was put through the stripes.com and went all over the world because military, it's all connected. Oh, we're going to come to Guam. Where can we eat? We're going to be so. This was just one of my articles that I had written, and thank God, it's online still.
Well, you gave us a lot of photos. Well, we got this photo from one of our viewers sent this, and he's like, hey.
Is that my friend Tobat?
That is Tobat.
And you got to this guy. I saw him. He's a cool guy. I like Tobat. Look at him. That's a while ago, dude. We both look younger.
Yeah, you guys both looking pretty cool there.
Yeah.
Man, he's a great dude. I got to know him from this broadcast.
Yes.
And I got connected with him and got to meet him in person. In fact, this tint on this window, this is his work.
Wow.
He donated tint, the actual tint and the service over at the press box where we do the play-by-play for the ball games, because we would talk about it on the broadcast. Man, it's so hot in here. I feel like I'm being melted by the sun. Yeah. Not anymore because of that. Again, a total donation.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's cool in here. I mean, this is comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it for in here is because we want to make sure that the view behind us pops, right?
Yeah,
so it's not all whited out.
It's gorgeous. No, I'm really happy about this. I can tell you that if you really want to, this is a perfect place for a studio. I think, and this kind of your setup, how you are. Yeah. Hey, I miss you too, dude. That's right. Making the comments. That's right. My brother. These guys, you make lifetime friends here. And that's one thing about you, and Kathy and your kids. I mean, I watched you guys grow up, and you go to the Hyatt, you see your picture up there. You guys are dining up there, and I remember that last picture of the screen.
Yes.
In the lobby of your deli, So
I don't know if that's why the Hyatt closed.
No. They want to get you back in there again.
Yeah. You're right about that. You do make lifetime friends about being out here, and that's why I was really fortunate to meet you back then.
Yeah.
In 2006, that Chance, JV, who's he's out in the Philippines now, but he's like, hey, you want to help out and do this? I think it'll be fun. I'm like, all right. And then after that, that's when you invited me to do the wine rallies.
Yes.
And then that went all the way from what started in 2006 all the way to 2019.
Yeah.
You even flew me out to Guam a couple times for their events when you need help.
Yeah, and you were the perfect person for that. I mean, you knew the whole routine, didn't need to be told anything because you had it down perfectly. You have that natural ability to communicate, convey, and get enthusiasm, get the buy-in by all the guests who were there. And we had a lot of fun events. Everybody's asking for that event now. We got to have another wine rally. Come on. And we do have it. You're going to be the MC.
Oh, I'd love to. I had so much fun. I mean, the wine rallies are a blast because it's really great for you guys for like PWS because you reach out directly to the people who have that first contact with all of the customers.
The servers,
right? So it's like, yes, the whole restaurant, they can promote anything, but those servers know that if they promote those particular products, they've got a chance to win either a trip or they can win some cash, and they can win stuff every month during those events. And the event itself is just fun to be at.
Oh, yeah, and they were also educational. We had contests to be able to quiz them and let them learn about technique about wine pouring, wine pronunciation, how to open a wine bottle properly, all those service things that are very important. So, you'd be surprised, but I'll tell you, honestly, the folks who were from the hotels, like the Hyatt and a few other places, they were so enthusiastic, but they're also knowledgeable. Out of the Philippines, they came with a lot of knowledge and preparation experience. And so the real issue we were trying to get the younger people in there, because Saipan was going through a transition of more young people from locally getting involved in the workforce, which really, for them, was eye-opening. They had to learn something beyond just beer. It's something that you have at a place to drink, but you got to have wines, not just red or white wine, but know about Chardonnay or Cabernet or Merlot or, what's a Pinot Grigio. They had to learn that, which is kind of nice. And now it gives them more confidence when they're communicating, to customers and guests. What do you recommend? You know what I mean? You want to go to a place, and you were always given good treatment over at the Hyatt, weren't you?
Oh,
and
my God.
Jim Aronofsky. These guys were just given so much, because that's their regular customers there. And the treatment we used to get, that's why I miss it so much sometimes, because I was, as food guy, I had to review the Hyatt Regency Sunday brunch at Giovanni's. It was probably the best one in the Pacific. That's what I was saying to a lot of people. And they say, why? I said, well, maybe because labor costs may have been a little bit lower at the time. They had a lot of chefs who were here, more in the kitchen. And they prepared so many different things. It was just elaborate. But times changed that. As time passed, as the economy began to get tightened up, as labor began to get really tightened up here, it was harder to be able to sustain that and maintain that, but that was still a standard, and I'll always remember that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the good news is with the new property, they have reached out, the new company that took over, to a lot of the staff that was there before.
Okay.
So they're trying to get some of that continuity together. Now, they lost out on a bunch of the chefs because they moved on.
Yes.
So I don't know how that's going to work, but I don't think there's any replacing, like the folks that they brought in from the Miyako. I think they got some of those folks that came back. And then they're opening up Giovanni's again. And on the 25th, that's when they're supposed to open up the hotel for room reservations.
Yeah,
now.
Thanksgiving, I think that's the thing. So, yeah, I'm going to be going over there today to find out more information, because I work with them a little bit. And PWS does sell some beverages there, and I sell paper straws. But I have other things to work with the chefs before, but I got to find out who is the chef. And then the two pieces of equipment that we sold, an Alto Shop combi oven and a deck oven for pastry. Engineer Mir, he's been able to get those installed. Because when we left last time, they were in crates.
Wow.
And now they're installed. I want to see those ovens.
I know you got all these products, and we talked a little bit, just briefly, about the Top Chef competition that we had here. And when I was the MC for that, I had a great chef's coat that you got for me for that. So it was super cool, but I thought, and you gave it to me, and that was great.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to go to waste, just because I would have something cool to wear. So I ended up donating it to Chef Tomakane so he could give it out to maybe one of his up-and-coming folks, so that they would have something to get them started. And it was awesome.
Well, that's a nice donation.
That was super cool. Well, that was just some of the products that you guys had.
The one that you liked also was the Venturi aerator.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that?
We used it last night. So we have two at the house.
Okay.
And because it's such a massive difference with aerating the wine instantly, right? It's absolutely great. It's the best way to decant wine is that you don't have to wait. Don't wait. Get the Venturi, and it unlocks and unleashes the flavors, the aromas, the everything. See, I remember your sales pitch. It worked great on me. I absolutely love that.
You try before and try after.
Yes.
And it was a night and day difference.
You just put the two glasses next to each other, pour one out of the bottle, pour one through the Venturi, and the exact same wine is a totally different product.
Yeah. Instant gratification, we call it. And the other thing is that before you decant, remember you have a decanter?
Mm-hmm.
Or let it breathe. Well, you got to let it breathe. That opens everything up, gets all the tannins out, softens everything up. But air is the enemy and the friend of wine. So you have to be able to either finish that bottle or get the vacuum in with the wine stoppers and pump out the air in the remaining bottle. It can last maybe another week or two. And people don't know that. So if you go to Crown right now, you'll see the little rubber stoppers on all their bottles of wine. Not just cork on top, but little stoppers because they have to pump it out and let people know, hey, it could save you some money because that wine is money.
So
charged by the glass.
I bottled 2 wines in New York like 23, 24 years ago. And I bought those.
Yeah.
Those rubber stoppers with the suction creator. I pull out all the air. But the other one is I read about if your wine turns, you can add metasulfates to it to kind of try and bring it back.
Well, I tell you, I'm not an expert on what you would do to restore wines. I know there's other types of systems that use argon gas in the wine that may be able to further preserve it. But I don't know about changing. That's like a magician in a way. It doesn't always work, So
Right.
maybe it can, but but you can probably use it for cooking.
Yeah,
if it's a red wine. So it's just the hardest thing is how long do wines last. And again, the right temperature, the right handling conditions. So it's got to be in a cool place, dark place, and that's why those wine cellars pull out an old wine, vintage, 30, 40-year wine.
Mhm.
Wow, that could be really powerful. But let that decant, and maybe if you use the Venturi it twice.
Yeah, the Venturi changed our lives. We don't drink wine out of the bottle anymore. It always goes through the Venturi, and it has ever since you introduced it to us.
I'm excited about that. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that I was able to help you with that because wine is a pleasure. If you're going to drink wine, it just makes a difference in your life, the quality of your life.
Oh, and we get to show off this really cool thing to our friends too.
Yeah, where'd you get that from?
Are they now? Is there anyone here that sells them retail?
No.
Everyone's
as a matter
missing
of
out.
fact, the company changed who made it, and they sold it to another company, and so they had one product in their line that was actually more interesting than that wine Venturi. It was called the Venturi Spirit, and it had demarcations, and the top of that thing was like a very top bowl.
Mm-hmm.
1 ounce, 2 ounce gradations, and it had a switch on the side. And so if you're doing scotch or doing sake or doing tequila, do that, and you before and after is more amazing.
Really?
Tequila, I was kind of demonstrate it and sell it to these buy me drinking bars in Guam, where they had, the hostess and everyone else was having, they gave them a tequila shot. They didn't like it because it was like hard and nasty, but then through the Venturi, it was smooth. Oh, it's good. The only difficulty is you might get drunk faster.
Wow, yeah, because it tastes
smoother, yeah, and not have that speed bump resistance on your palate, And so they did continue. But I can make a Johnny Walker Black, a Johnny Walker Blue instantly. And they said, you can't. Try it now. Wow, it's like Johnny Walker.
No kidding.
All the finer scotches, and this device was fantastic, and they stopped making it. They just continued it.
What was it called?
It's called the Venturi Spirit. Spirit. You can Google it, but I don't know if it's even anywhere. Maybe someone has it, but it was a great product. And I have one at my house. And, if you're drinking any high quality vodka, scotch, or anything, then it's just like, wow, that's a device.
I do see them. This one says you can buy them at this place. Oh, let's see. It looks like it's on eBay.
Well, get one.
Let's see.
If you can get it now. I'm just telling you, it's just that, and it's better because, I was trying to go to bars to demonstrate it in Guam, and the guys at the bars, they don't go there to use and enjoy the scotches or the drinks, the beverages, the alcohol. They go there to get a buzz, So.
All the ones that I'm finding on eBay are I don't know if it does the same thing, but they're the wine.
If it says Venturi Spirit and you see a white clear thing with the little knob, it's how it was because it's not free flowing.
Oh, no. Interesting. So the one that said Spirit sold, all the ones that are there are the regular ones for wine. So let's see.
Yeah.
Venturi Spirit. I'm just going to search directly on eBay to see if there's another listing for it.
I have not really.
Okay, there it is. The Spirit Spirit Aerator with stand.
Yep.
That's available right there.
For what?
Open box, brand new. So this one's pre-owned.
Okay.
Brand new, $40 plus $10 for shipping.
Okay.
And wow. So now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
With the aerator for that, like for the wine, it's not really an issue. But I remember back in our wild and crazy fun days of doing girls' night out at Hard Rock Cafe in Saipan.
Okay.
One of the things that we thought we were cool about, we froze a big block of ice.
Yes.
And then we used a heated spoon to like make a little pathway down to do the ice shots, right?
Yeah.
The luge shots. So what we learned quickly was that if you ran one shot down there, the next shot's going to taste like that first shot a little bit. So like as soon as you put down tequila down one, every shot's going to taste like tequila. So you'd have to make different
residue. Channels, different channels.
So how about with this one? Do you have to stay with the same thing, or do you got to rinse it out like right away? And
well, every time I use my Venturi, I always run water through it. I always rinse it and just let it go before the next pour. Because you don't want any residue, especially if it's spirits, because it'll stay in there and it may eventually clog it. So this would be good to do.
But you do that, but like you said, in between pours.
Yeah, in between pours for my regular. But again, the one you have and we have is the free flow. Free flow. This other one is not. It's just by lever, and so 1 ounce, 2 ounce shots. And again, the difference was remarkable, night and day.
No kidding.
And I sold those to a lot of people who bought them at the time. I had a bunch in stock, and they disappeared. And then somebody said that other people wanted to get that. Where can you get it? I said, they're not selling them to me anymore. I can't buy them.
I see the lever that you're talking about now. Here, I can.
Yeah.
Here, let's. We could share this to folks, even though you guys aren't selling these, but we can show people what it looks like. There's that lever.
Yeah.
So,
and it would just do the same aeration. The guy that invented this Italian guy, his name was Sabadici, and I had worked with his wife, Marie, to be able to get the Venturis, and we just. There was some skepticism at first. Our company, Dan, was a little skeptical. I don't think it's going to want to have Venturis for wine. We sold thousands of these. Guam and Saipan. I even had some of those sell at duty-free stores and things. But it was, it's nice. I'm sure that you can see it. You can get if that's available. From what I understand, haven't been able to buy it. They take it off their sales list, but maybe just a few are laying around in the States.
Yeah, sometimes things fall off the truck, I think is how it works.
Yeah.
And people find and sell them on eBay. I'm looking at just a few of them.
Yeah.
But, man, they are, now I got to try it. I like that.
If you can get it. My gosh, get it, I've got, like I said, I've got one that's mine, but I just kept it for years. And I don't really, special occasions, I've had some really good Japanese scotch. Just amazing. One of my Japanese customers, a chef, he said that it makes square round. He was describing it. It takes the edges off. It's like, it makes square round.
Wow, this one's...
I love he described it that way.
This one's $40 with a $6 shipping. This one's $40 with the $10 shipping. Just depends on where it's coming from. And if you can find it. This one's $20 or best offer. This one's used. But still, it would probably still work.
Yeah, it can still do so. Yeah, it'll work. I mean, again, people have different preferences. I'm just saying it. And all it does is not adding anything. It's just it's burning off the alcohol. Burning off the alcohol. And that's an important thing. That way you don't have all that burn on your palate. What you get is the original flavor, especially these scotches, these blended malts or single malts. The flavor is just so rich. You see all the effort and time and skill in creating this great concoction. Get the alcohol, burn off the alcohol, and you got this phenomenal flavor. Use it for, you can use it for desserts, over ice cream, brandies.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just saying it. All the things you can do with the essence, the how they made these amazing spirits, and the real essence and the flavor. I mean, vodkas that go back 50 years. We're just like, wow, Tanqueray, gin. Somebody said you open up, it's like a garden. All the florals come out, and
wow,
they overwhelm your senses. So you have this palate going crazy just on the alcohol. Not the beverage, it's not the alcohol itself, it's burned off, but the essence of what the creation is.
All right, now I'm excited about it. Now I was excited already, but hearing about that, like now I'm going to be a bigger drinker, apparently.
Yeah, let's not tell Kathy about that. Is she listening? You have an audience pretty big. I noticed you got several thousand people that likes or follow you, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, well, now they're gonna have an opportunity to change their whole world now. And then I want to have people over. Like I feel like I want to be the traveling guy for this. That I am marketing this for no company because the people who I know who used to have this kind of stuff don't do it anymore.
That's right. So yeah, free for all. And I'm just, people reach out to me. We work with customers here like hotels and also some of the restaurants. Shirley's is a good customer of ours. We work with them a lot, and they're good people. And we just want to be able to be responsible to help them where we can, with products. I mean, sure, you can buy things on the internet, buy things and bring them in, but we stand behind our products and we give good quality products. And then I can hand carry things over sometimes, so I do that and make it easy too.
You were just saying that you did that the other day for Godfathers.
Yeah,
carrying stuff over.
I brought Scott 3 cases of glasses, beer mugs, a cooler glass, and then the rocks glass. So whenever I see Scott, he just says, "Ken, give me that." So I like Scott. He's an amazing guy and just a good friend. And they have good food over there. The BLT they have over there, my gosh, BLT. Oh my goodness! You know what he told me about the BLT at Godfather's? He says, "I make it the way I want to eat it."
All right, so I have not had a BLT there. That's what we're going to do for lunch today.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there for the BLT. So we tell people all the time that it's Saipan's Best Pizza. They sponsor our baseball also.
Yeah.
So like when we have the Saipan Baseball League Game of the Week, Scotty gives us 2 pizzas to help feed the crew and everybody who's doing all that stuff out there.
Awesome pizzas.
Oh, they are.
Man.
I absolutely love them. I'm a plain pizza guy. Like I just like pepperoni, and it makes me pretty happy. And I'm like, Scotty, how about like the pizza that we get in like Buffalo or in New York? Like, can we make it there? He's like, Brad, we tried it. It's the water. Right. He said the water is the big difference why they're able to make pizza the way they do in New York compared to here.
Yes, that makes sense. Water has a big play in what happens with that pizza. The interaction, because some are certain kind of minerals inside the water sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It has a interaction, maybe a process that makes it better. You got yeast and everything else going on. So, yeah, water.
Hey, I'm glad that you're here because we talked a lot about the products and everything that you're doing and all that. But I have another idea for you, and I don't know that it would take too much more of your time. And if you've done this on your own already, then you're good to go, and I just don't know where to find it. But you send me a bunch of photos of when you go on these walks.
Oh, yes.
And you've got such a keen eye for setting up compositions. I know you're probably taking with your phone and everything as you're walking and shooting some photos.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth journaling that stuff, and at least maybe as like a social media page just for your photography for when you're going out and doing that. And you could call it Walk with Ken.
Yeah, people say, you should make that a coffee table book or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my passions, I guess. But I can tell you, I'm not a professional photographer, but I have, something happens to me. I go into a zone, like when I was writing my newsletters for Food Guy, like 3 and 4 in the morning to get it published to Hawaii, and then so I can do it on the air next same morning. And it's like you're in a zone. Your mind it's like that creative thing, you're just totally in, you're oblivious to anything, how tired you are, whatever I'm walking and I see these things that just happens. I mean, I see a beauty, and people say, how do you see that? How did you notice that? The little details of what you see, we take it for granted, but you've been able to capture it. And I don't plan every shot. I just, even the animals, the pets,
mm-hmm.
the dogs or the cats or the snail or the whatever is nature. We're blessed to live here. Our clouds are fantastic. 5:30 in the morning, you can't see. It's just, and everybody sees sunsets here in Saipan. The sunsets
mm-hmm.
over there at Micro Beach.
Yes.
I mean, it's world famous, world class. Go down to the surf club, sunsets. Just the tourists going crazy. They got their cameras. They're taking pictures. But that is part of what's part of our beauty here. We live in this. God's been great. God has been great, and thank God for bringing this to us, the ability to appreciate and then share with other people. I have friends and people who send my pictures around the world, and they say it makes their day. It makes them happier. From Japan to Germany, and they said, Ken, Thailand, and I don't know what it is, because everybody's got its own beauty, right?
That's why I think it'd be great if you just had something specifically, like just like a like Walks with Ken or Ken's Walks or something like that.
I might do something like, I'll talk to you about this, because there may be something, Because what you're doing here with this kind of a media podcast presence, it lends itself to what I do. There may be a way to create something that might be able to be available. So yeah, we'll talk about that. I just can't make a commitment right now, but
all right,
I'm excited. You stir the pot a little bit, got me going. Get these creative juices going while I'm still alive. I'm not young as I used to be.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're not slowing down. But I'll tell you what, if you ever get back, this guy, hold on, let me go back here 1 second. Let me scroll up. Got to scroll up here. Because there's a million of these things. So to be able to find the right one. Let's see. Where was it? Hold on. I got to find the right one. Scrolling by so fast just to try to find it quickly. There's no easy way to do it. Let's see here. I think these are going to be. This is me. You guys aren't watching as I'm scrolling through all these photos. You're just looking at.
I sent so many pictures, but I didn't send. I only sent you a few.
You sent me more than a few. You sent me all of them. It's great. There's not a complaint. But
Yeah.
Hold on. I've got to be getting close.
Did I send you?
This one right here.
Oh, yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
Hold on. You sure? This guy must have been a lady killer in Guam. I'm telling you. This guy was out there. Again, the Aaron Neville version. I don't know much, but I know I'm the food guy. This guy.
He picks. Yeah, that's one of the pick. Yeah, and it's oddly enough, as before I even worked with the company, we began to sell these aprons because I was just dressed up part of my costume, chef uniform. So yeah, that's interesting how it was done.
Good times.
But yeah, did I send you Rodolfo's picture?
No, I don't know about this time.
No, this one here. Just look at my iPad today.
Oh, yes.
That's over there. It's across your way.
Really?
Yeah.
So I know where Rodolfo's like the
this
main
was the
one.
one first, Olei. And then they moved over there, But yeah.
So I missed all the Rodolfo stuff.
Yeah.
People, when they refer to it, they're like Rudy's.
It's a classic
Rodolfo's.
place. I mean, they have memories, But this is the one right that was there originally.
So I've seen a lot of pictures of people I know there when it was open.
Yep.
It looked like it was a fun place.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of the parties I heard about, they were just wild.
Pizza.
Oh, man. And what happened? Oh, I don't remember what happened with that place. I don't really know. Maybe.
Over there, I don't know either. I know it kind of fell apart. Something happened and they shut it down. So, whether it was just owner dispute or something, I don't know. But I wasn't here at the time. I was able to be blessed to come to Saipan periodically, once a month or whatever, or twice if I had to project. And, so sometimes I don't get involved in all the intimate details of every operation unless I'm actually part of it. So, and, it's a lot to appreciate, I was here when we began to build they were building the Marianas Resort. And I have all these photographs of all the concrete that was there. And now, what is this? Oh, I don't know what that is. That's Marianas Resort. I mean, to see it develop and see Saipan go through the changes it's gone through. And Saipan has got quite a legacy here.
That is wild. Well, man, I'll tell you what, it's just great having you here, Ken. And I'm glad that I got to know you so much over the years and to have you in here. And it's really kind of cool. So you could be a part of this new thing. I was so happy when you messaged me the other day. Said, hey, I'm heading up there.
Well, Ted, I got a show going on. You said, what kind of show? No, I know. I like this. I could do this. I could do a format. We might just have to retire here.
There you go.
On the air. Be a happy person.
I love it. And we'll talk more about that for sure. All right. Hey, before we go, we've got just a couple of things. So we normally go to 9 o'clock unless we've got stuff going on and all that. And so I think we're going to wrap up at 9 today just so I can get you going and then chat with you a little bit. But before we do, we have something else going on today. You came in just like at the beginning of it. We had kind of a neat thing going on. So we'll let you be here to join us for this little part here. 1 second. I got to transition to that part. There we go. All right. So we have a new sponsor who is joining us this year, and we're really happy about it. And the cool thing is is that we've got a big contest going on that we've been telling people about, that if they pay attention, they could give us a call and they could win a prize. But we told them there's a secret thing to listen for. And we had our first winner on. Now you can't hear it, right? Because you don't have the headphones on. I didn't put headphones your way. But this is that signal. We told people we were going to do it at 9 o'clock, and it's 9 o'clock now. It's with our new sponsor. Again, it pays to listen, for sure. I wish I had the other headphones plugged in just so you can hear how ridiculous this is. But it's great. And there's a little bit of a delay from when I press play to when actually people can hear it out there. We'll see. This is for the free bucket of beer from Last Shot Bar. Do you know those guys over there? Have you been down there yet? It's over in Chalankanoa. Okay. It's in that same little area that's right by. You've got Last Shot Bar, Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness, and you've got the Surf Rider. Surf Rider's got that stuff. And so you get over there, and they're on the second floor. Right. Downstairs was like a construction company or something, which really isn't there right now. Oh, jeez, it's overpowering. Remember, the number, if you want to get in, it's 789-2323, and you can win your bucket of beer from Last Shot Bar. We're giving away to the next caller. I almost gave away one of the other numbers. But it's 789-2323, 789-2323. It is your 9 o'clock shot to win. Get your weekend started off right with Last Shot Bar. This is your chance. You are missing out if you do not claim this. A free bucket of beers for Last Shot Bar. Get your weekend started right. This is your time. All right, we do have a call coming in. Let's see find out who we got. All right, off at AIDS on Road. Thanks for calling the show. Who is this?
John.
John.
Yeah.
You just won a free bucket of beer. Wait, are you 21?
Yes, sir.
Well, good luck. Do you have a liver?
Yes, sir.
You're going to make it feel great now because you're going to win a free bucket of beers for Last Shot Bar in Saipan. And all you got to do is swing by. You can pick it up from us here at the studio. Do you know where we are?
Yes, sir. I know your office.
All right. Yeah, so come on down. And when do you think? Just send us a message if you're coming down sooner or later, and then we'll get this to you. But you are the second winner of the first 2 buckets of beer that we are giving out, courtesy of Last Shot Bar.
I was trying to win the first one, but I was too slow.
You got this one. You made this one.
Roger that.
All right, Chief Sean, we'll see you later. We're up here on the 3rd floor in the CETA building.
Roger that.
All right, take care. Have a great day.
Same for you.
All right, thanks. All right, that's John. He's our big winner. Let me write down his number just in case we got to contact him later. But that's it. So now you know, Ken, that's how we're ended up doing it.
That's
okay.
That's kind of cool. Is your restroom over here?
Yeah, so right around the corner. So here, folks, what we're going to do, we're going to send you the update from the Associated Press now, and we'll be back in just a moment after this. Oh, somebody's calling. They're too late. They just missed it.
Matt Gaetz is withdrawn as President-elect Trump's nominee for Attorney General. Sakamagani has details.
The ex-congressman is already a controversial figure and was under scrutiny over a federal sex trafficking investigation. That cast doubt over whether even the GOP-led Senate would confirm him as the nation's top federal law enforcement officer. Gaetz says it's clear his confirmation process was a distraction for the Trump transition effort. His withdrawal is a blow to Trump's push for getting loyalists in his administration, and the first sign the president-elect could face resistance even from members of his own party. Before Gaetz' announcement, Jim Himes, the House Intelligence Panel's top Democrat, called on the Senate to reject Gaetz.
Probably the singular worst cabinet nomination in American history. I'm not sure that's true because I'm not up on what Garfield did.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his former defense minister Yoav Gallant, and Mohammed Deif, a Hamas leader Israel claims to have killed, accusing them of crimes against humanity. The court says Hamas committed murder, rape, and torture in the October 7 attacks that triggered the Israel-Hamas war. It also says Israel has used starvation as a method of warfare in Gaza. Meantime, Palestinian health officials say the death toll in Gaza is now more than 44,000. Russian President Vladimir Putin says Moscow has used a new intermediate-range missile in a strike on Ukraine. It came in response to Ukrainian strikes on Russian territory this week that used U.S. and British longer-range missiles. Matthew Seville at the Royal University Services Institute.
You're talking about a missile with a range way beyond any of that seen in this conflict so far, and possibly the first ever use in combat.
This is AP News. The National Association of Realtors reports sales of existing homes rose 3.4% last month from September, the median price just over $407,000. Mortgage rates up again. Freddie Mac puts the average 30-year at 6.84%. Jobless claims fell again last week, and Seth Sutel has the AP Markets report.
Stocks climbed on Wall Street after market superstar NVIDIA and another round of companies said they're making even fatter profits than expected. The S&P 500 rose 0.5% Thursday. The index had bounced around between gains and losses for much of the day. The Dow jumped 461 points. It's about 1.1%. The Nasdaq Composite edged up less than 0.1%. Banks, smaller companies, and other areas of the market that tend to do best when the economy is strong helped lead the way. Bitcoin briefly broke above $99,000. Crude oil prices rose again. Treasury yields edged higher in the bond market. Seth Sutel, New York.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
All right, folks, that was the show today. It's 9:07 a.m. We'll just give you a real quick rundown of how the weather's looking and everything before we send you off on your way to have a great day. Right now, it's 86 degrees out here in Saipan. Humidity's at 72%, so it's hot, but it's not beat you over the head hot, thanks to that low humidity. We got isolated showers throughout today, mostly sunny skies. High near 87. We're almost there. Winds out of the east, 13 to 15 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 18. Tonight's going to be a great weather for the showdown between the Blue Jays and the Marlins for the Saipan Baseball League Masters League tonight at 6:30 at Tonko Field. You're going to want to get down there, but if you can't make it, don't worry. We're going to be showing it live on NMI News Service. That's what we do. And that game is brought to you by Atkins Kroll Toyota, not to mention, of course, IT&E. IT&E takes us everywhere on the island. We're able to bring you everything that we do thanks to Team Blue. All right, folks. Well, that's what we've got for the day. I do have an update from the Associated Press on sports, so I will send that to you. But really, after that, we're going to wrap it up, and that'll be it. So I want to say thanks to you guys for sticking around, for being a part of it. Thanks to Ken for being in here with us today and being our in-studio guest. We'll be back again tonight, but we'll be back for Good Morning Marianas on Monday. We will see you there at 7 o'clock. And when I say 7 o'clock, you know, it's like 7 o'clock-ish. It's kind of that we're your morning show that's on island time. All right? All right, here's your update from Associated Press. After that, we're going to be out of here. Have a great day, Marianas.
Sports,
great
I'm
weekend.
Bruce Morton. The NBA's hottest team has returned to its winning ways. Correspondent Steve Carney tells us how the Cavaliers did against New Orleans.
Ty Jerome scored a career-high 29 points as the Cleveland Cavaliers take a 128-100 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. Jerome, who started in place of Darius Garland due to injury, scored 27 of his 29 in the first half, including a 20-point second quarter. Cavs head coach Kenny Atkinson says a performance like that is special to watch.
Those moments don't happen a lot in the NBA where one guy just gets it going like that, and you just felt like, I'm like, this is crazy. This is Ty Jerome. I mean, I love Ty, but geez, it was like a superstar performance.
Jared Allen and rookie Jalen Tyson, making his first NBA start, each had 16 points and 11 rebounds in the win. The Pelicans, who were without their top 6 scorers due to injury, were led by forward Antonio Reeves, who had 34 points.
Two teams with winning records collided when the Suns hosted the Knicks. AP correspondent Dave Ferry has details.
The Knicks picked up their 4th consecutive win by outscoring the Suns 138-122. All 5 New York starters scored in double figures, led by Jalen Brunson's 36 points and Karl Anthony Towns' 34. Josh Hart added 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists for the Knicks, who nailed 4 3-pointers while draining their first 8 shots. Brunson had 23 points by intermission. Head coach Tom Thibodeau says he liked the work of Brunson, Towns, Cameron Payne, and Mikal Bridges.
I thought Jalen's aggressiveness to start the game was big for us as well. And then Cat, and then Cam came in, gave us great minutes off the bench, and Mikal was all over the place.
Phoenix played its 7th straight game without Kevin Durant and fell to 1-6 in that span. Devin Booker's 33 points led the Suns in their 5th straight loss.
In other action, Milwaukee over the Bulls 122-106. The Rockets beat the Pacers 130-113. It was Memphis 117, Philadelphia 111. The Thunder got past Portland 109-99. The Warriors buried the Hawks 120-99, and the Clippers defeated Orlando 104-93. College hoops. The second-ranked Connecticut women flogged Fairleigh Dickinson 85-41. That gave UConn coach Gino Auriemma his 1,217th career victory, enabling him to pass Tara Vanderveer and become college basketball's winningest coach.
When this season's over, I'll be able to look back on it and think about it and see where it all fits.
In men's play, 8th-ranked Alabama got the best of number 25 Illinois. Correspondent Mike Reeves has the story.
8th-ranked Alabama led by as many as 18 points in the first half and cruised past number 25 Illinois 100-87. Grant Nelson led 4 Crimson Tide players at double figures with 23 points, 19 of those coming in the first half.
We kind of knew how they were going to come out and guard me and some of the other 4s and 5s. So, my teammates just gave me confidence all week. And just pass me the ball early, easy, got the ball out of their hands quick, and it worked out.
Alabama put up the 100-point total, with Mark Sears being held scoreless for just the second time in his career. He attempted just 4 shots in 21 minutes. The Illini got 18 points from Will Riley. Alabama improves their record to 4-1. Illinois is 3-1.
Another top 10 play, 3rd-ranked Gonzaga routed Long Beach State 84-41. Back with baseball and hockey after this. Baseball, the writers handed out Cy Young Awards to a pair of Triple Crown winners. AP correspondent Dave Ferry reports.
Braves lefty Chris Sale is the National League Cy Young Award winner after becoming the first player since 2011 to lead the NL in wins, strikeouts, and ERA. Sale claimed 26 of 30 first-place votes, going 18-3 with 225 strikeouts and a 2.38 earned run average. Phillies right-hander Zach Wheeler was second, and Pirates hurler Paul Skeens was third in the voting. Tigers ace Tarek Skubal was the unanimous AL Cy Young winner, finishing ahead of Royals righty Seth Lugo and Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase. Skubal also won pitching's Triple Crown in his league, going 18-4 with 228 strikeouts and a 2.39 ERA.
Meanwhile, MLB will test robot umpires at 13 spring training ballparks hosting 19 teams. Hockey, the Maple Leafs were inhospitable hosts to the Golden Knights. Correspondent John Leatherby has the story.
Fraser Minton scored his first NHL goal, and Joseph Wall recorded his second career shutout as Toronto blanked Vegas 3-0 at Scotiabank Arena. Minton's milestone came in the first period on a perfect feed from William Nylander to make it 1-0.
Sometimes when you're coming off the bench on the rush, they don't really pick you up, so just tried to stay kind of in the quiet ice there. And I know Willie sees everything, so just was waiting for something, and he made a great pass.
Nylander scored in the third to double the Toronto lead. Pontus Holmberg sealed it with an empty netter. Toronto was without Austin Matthews for a 7th consecutive game due to injury. They are 6-1 in his absence.
The rest of the Wednesday NHL action had the Hurricanes over the Flyers 4-1. Seattle shut out Nashville 3-0. The Stars outshined the Sharks 5-2, and it was Buffalo 1, Los Angeles 0. Bruce Morton, AP Sports.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun. Good morning.